Good morning, everybody. It's Jonathan Harmon with the J. Harmon Home Team with my buddy Tab Talbott here of Gateway Title. Tab Talbott, Esquire.
That's right.
I'm really trying to convince, here, clip that on so they can hear you. Really trying to convince him that since he's earned that designation, that he needs to use that designation, but he says it's a little too pretentious. So
you can call me that.
Okay. Oh, I will. I do.
And you do.
Yeah, often. So Tab and his people here at Gateway are our go-to title company. Mary and Haley and Kaylee and they all rhyme. And there's two Kayleys, right? Two Kayleys, yeah. One Haley and a Mary,
yeah.
Amongst others.
Yeah.
So and a Tab.
And Tab.
Can we call you like Tably or something?
Yeah, we need something that goes better with those names. So
that's awesome. But I've gotten to know Tab obviously through closings, but also Tab and I team teach at MTAR. We teach a contracts class there. MTAR is Middle Tennessee Association of Realtors. And so we go through the contract together. He has a great big section that he's exceptional at explaining that I'm only mediocre at explaining. Anyway, so it's good stuff.
Good. Yeah.
So past clients, you guys probably recognize the office if nothing else, because sometimes Tab does them, sometimes Mary does them.
Yeah.
And we've closed a bunch with you guys, haven't we?
Done a lot. It's been we've really enjoyed working with you and your team, and say it, you can't say it enough. When you work with professionals, it just makes the whole experience so much better.
It does. And I mean, look, stuff's going to have hiccups.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
But what defines a professional from a novice is how do you handle the hiccups?
Yeah.
And you guys are absolutely the pros.
Well,
so
same with your team.
When it comes up, I mean, between you and Mary, everything gets explained. And I mean, there's been times where you've explained it and I've gone, yeah, that doesn't make sense. You're going to have to try again.
Yeah. And, a lot of what we do too is behind the scenes. And so, and I tell this a lot, we may find stuff that is problematic, but we hope a lot of times you don't even hear about it.
Right.
We spend a lot of time just cleaning up things. And we get to close date and everything was fine. We didn't even have to talk about it. Those are nice too. So we have a lot of unsung heroes in the back too.
For sure.
That do.
I try to feed them pretty often. I bring them burritos and all kinds of stuff.
And that does help.
Yes, it does. And ultimately one of the best compliments that I get, and you guys probably get it too, is, man, this was just so easy.
Right.
Right. Gosh, did y'all even really do anything?
Right.
And it's like, yes, a lot.
Right. Yeah, and that's true, and sometimes it's like there might be a temptation to like.
Let me list it for you.
Yeah, let me tell you what we did. But yeah, that is what you want. I've had several over the 6 years, been like, boy, my last one was just, this is nothing like that. You know? Now sometimes they may have had like you said, things happen, but yeah, I think we all try. I preach this a lot. You've heard me say it. We want to make the closing process as smooth as possible, because if your clients have a really positive experience, that's kind of your last impression.
That's right.
So we get that as a title company. We want to help you have that best last impression. And if you have a great last impression, hopefully that leads to referrals. And referrals means for you. Means we'll probably see you back in here again.
That's right.
So that's good for us too. So
absolutely,
everybody wins.
And at the end of the day, I talk about my team a lot, and I absolutely count you guys as part of my team.
Yeah.
We work exceptionally well together. Lindsay Costello, I don't know if you remember them. They had a property in a trust.
Yes.
And so you guys worked very hard for them.
I remember them, yeah.
And
nice people too.
Oh, they're awesome folks. Yeah. And now they're neighbors. Did you know that? They bought a house very close to us.
Okay, cool.
Or close to me, rather. So pretty cool. But
in downtown?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, right over there by Central.
Awesome.
But anyway, so let's spend just a few minutes. We're going to talk about business. And then we want to talk about the fun stuff.
Yeah.
Because you're involved in some pretty fun stuff.
Yeah, whatever you want to do.
So, business-wise, what if somebody's watching right now and they're like, okay, title company, basically they just gather up paperwork and then we sit down and sign it and they move money around.
Right.
What list like the top 3 things other than sitting down at the closing table that you guys do?
Yeah. So number one, always, when you're talking about title work, the foundation is title search. So that's definitely your number one, because what you as a seller want and what a buyer wants is we want a clean title, right? We want to know that this real estate that we are transferring is clean, what we call in the business good and marketable title.
Right.
That I have the assurance to know that I can sell this.
3 years down the road, Bubba the third isn't going to come back. And,
right. Or there's no lien out there that has to be satisfied. So that's number one. Now, really second, and this has evolved over the years, but now title insurance would be number two. So issuing a title insurance policy. Why is that important? Because lenders which most people, when we're buying a home, we're having to get money for that, borrow. Lenders are not going to lend that money without a title insurance policy.
Right.
And so what gets confusing sometimes is, people will say, well, you did the title search, so why do we need title insurance? And my response is, well, because humans are involved. And so you can have fraud, you can have human error, just to name a couple of reasons as to why, even with a good title search is conducted, why you can still have issues down the road that are going to affect your ability to buy or sell it. And so lenders are not giving money without title insurance. And so issuing a title insurance policy is very important as well. And there's lots of hurdles. And then the other point of title insurance, it can get confusing, is there's the law, and then there's what the lender wants to get title insurance.
Right.
And so those are on top of what legally we need to do. And so that can require extra work. So if you've ever dealt with an estate, for example, lots of work we got to do. Anytime mom and dad have passed and now the kids have it and they want to sell it, very common thing. Lots of checklists, lots of things that we've got to do. So
sure.
And then number three is just really, I would say, acting as the escrow agent. So every person that gets paid related to that transaction, if we're representing the buyer, we are cutting the checks for. So everybody gets their check. And so that's part of what you're also paying for as well. We make sure all the liens get paid off. The termite guy got paid. The HOAs are getting their money. So a lot of checks get cut in this office too. So,
yeah. Well, and the real key, in my opinion, that really defines a good title company from a great title company, okay? Because there's a lot of good title companies around here, and I'm not taking anything away from them, but the expediency with which you guys act, right? So on the check cutting, that kind of thing, and just the understanding of, I guess you say, the position of different parties involved, right? So you guys cater to clients first, absolutely, positively.
Yeah.
But then you also understand that real estate agents are clients. And so you guys really support the agent well. I've dealt with other title companies that they feel like they're the most important in the process. And I think you guys understand your importance, of course, but I think you also understand that putting yourself in a service position rather than a superior position is crucial.
Yeah, well, it doesn't. It's like I said earlier. You have to look at it from. Let's be realistic. We want you guys to succeed, because if you're successful, that's success for us as well.
Right.
And so, and like you said, we like to work with people that see it as a team model. I've had a couple agents where they put themselves, up here that, that they're the most important. And the truth is, we're all if we respect each other, we're all working towards that same goal.
That's right.
And so I don't have to, for example, with your team, I never worry about that. I know where you guys are coming from. We all want to close this, but we all also want to make sure that we're doing it the right way and professional way.
Because ultimately, the ones that we're all serving are the clients.
Right. They're the boss.
That's right.
If anybody's on top, it's them, and that's called business.
It's called good business.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure. So, all right. So anyway, Gateway Title, they rock. Tab, you're doing some stuff as well, right?
Well, as far as I try to get. My wife is from here, and we've planted roots here. I would say officially, I adopted the mindset that I was a Murphysboroian. Is that what we call ourselves? I don't know.
Sure, that sounds good.
Yeah. Burrowite. Probably about 10 years ago, and I came to school here. Like a lot of people, came to Middle Tennessee. First introduced to Murphysboro. As soon as I graduated, I thought I was not coming back.
Did you buy something at Davis Market?
Maybe,
so that's it. I'm telling you, man.
Maybe some beer.
Yeah, so. You know that it's the center of the universe, right? Or it was. Now it's La Esquina, and they have great tacos. But
I've heard ways to cancel the hex too, but
that's right.
I never did that.
That's the cosmos, man.
So, but my wife's from here, and so we settled here 10 years ago. So, to me, it was. I was doing the Nashville thing for a couple of years, and I just remember the day I came home and I said, I'm not doing this anymore. I've got to do something that I can live and work in my community and be involved in it. And so that was a great move for me 6 or 7 years ago. But yeah, so I've started to get involved in things. I'm on the Main Street board, which I love. I have a passion for that, and also just recently joined the United Way board too. But,
wow!
Yeah, so that's a big honor, but I can speak more about Main Street just because I've been with it long enough, and there's some really good people. So
yeah, let's talk about that. So what is the Main Street organization?
Yeah, that's a good question because there's a lot of confusion in that. So Main Street is actually a national organization that is farmed out through each state. It's semi-government supported, but not dictated in any way. We don't receive funds, for example, from state.
But you work with local
funds.
Governments,
right? Exactly.
And state governments.
And so, and there is a very close relationship with it. But
sure.
Just a little background about the Main Street organization. It started really around the 70s when people started seeing these beautiful downtowns that were dying as a result of what we realize now is a sprawl, suburbanization, the malls, that kind of thing, and seeing these downtown corridors just kind of falling apart, literally, right? And so there was a movement to say we need to cherish these things and put value back into them. So Murphysboro started, I think it's 33 years old. So
wow.
Yeah, it started a long time ago, and it really, a lot of them started just like Murphysboro did as a beautification project. So, for example, hard to believe now, but there used to be power lines. I've seen old pictures, power lines going all through the downtown square.
No kidding.
And so
that would look terrible.
Right, it did. Yeah. And so that was one of the first things they just tackled was, let's get underground utilities, right? Let's get flowers, park benches, that kind of thing. But Main Street focuses on, I always remember the acronym DOPE, because that's easy way for me to remember. But so that stands for design, organization, promotion, and economic vitality. So that's the 4 legs of the stool, if you will, that Main Street focuses on. Now, to put it in local context, what Main Street for, most people, is Friday night live on the square, the music, the farmers market on the square. We also, the Christmas downtown, the Halloween downtown, and then we have a couple of signature events that we do throughout the year too. So,
which are?
Yeah, so we've got glad you asked. We got the big summer party coming up, which is July 27th.
Right.
Anyone can come. You buy tickets to support, and it all supports Main Street. It's a great fun event. And then later in the year, we'll have what we call an evening on Main, which is a little bit more low key affair. And so those are kind of our big events.
I mean, you're leaving out the biggest one, dude.
What did I forget?
Jazz Fest.
Yeah, sorry.
Hello?
Well, I don't think of that as it's not a fundraiser. And
sure.
So I was thinking,
but it's a big.
It is a signature.
It's a big deal.
Event. Yeah. And so there's Jazz Fest too, which that's our oldest of all Main Street events. So people don't realize, I think, a lot when these events I'm talking about that they're not. It's not the local government that's putting these on. It is a nonprofit organization that supports these things.
And you think about it, those are all, everything you're talking about is super fun stuff. The concerts, the farmers market, all of that. And so you go back to your acronym, right? And what you're really doing is driving traffic to downtown.
Exactly.
And you're giving the businesses that are there an opportunity to have exposure, walk by traffic, and I think, you know, sort of like the malls, you mentioned that. So back in the day, they were a destination, right?
Sure.
You could go there and conveniently shop however many stores, right? Well, now we want to make the Main Street area and all the little shops, I mean, even the side streets, right? The Quinn's Mercantiles, the Hernandez Mexican Delis, the lamp shop that's over on, maybe once or twice, yeah. The lamp shop that's on Vine Street, Soul Collections, all these cool little niche shops, and not to mention the ones that are on the square.
Right.
You know, people need to know about those and go, man, there might be a good reason for me to come downtown, even outside of the farmers market or Jazz Fest.
Exactly. And so the promotion is probably one of the most successful things that the Murphysboro Main Street has done. But you know, there's some behind the scene things too that I'm proud of. For example, the judicial building. That was a big thing. Huge public works project. The initial design that came out of that, it was a very contemporary looking building. The way they
it's still pretty contemporary.
It is, but you should have seen the original,
the
original renderings, and there was some concern that it really just wasn't going to quite fit the downtown character. And a lot of, I think Main Street had a lot to say about that process of just kind of, you know, reworking that to make the character of that building look a little
well,
better.
and then kudos to city government for even seeking that input.
Exactly. We have a great, I mean, I know with recent things with the city government, you know,
we probably don't want to get into that too much.
Say what you will, but I'll say this: I think I've always, you know, almost everyone on there that I know of, at least the ones that I know, I think their heart is there. You know, they want to do the right thing, and so I've seen that, you know, in example. The other thing, real quick, I'll plug Puckett's. I think Puckett's has been a success story in that they were initially not interested in a downtown location, and it was only till we got tipped off that they were looking in Murphysboro, that who's now our former executive director manhandled Andy Marshall, to what I've heard. That's
weird to me that they wouldn't be. I mean, you look at all their other locations, Franklin, Columbia, all of those, they're downtown.
This is, so I don't want to be talking out of school, but that was the report that I got, that they were not initially, they were looking to do something different outside the downtown, and part of the problem is they did not know if what was available, or they couldn't seem to find anything downtown that was available.
Real estate is weird downtown. I will say that. Yeah. It's very closely guarded.
So it was only so that, again, some of the story I've heard, that our executive director was aware of what depends on when you went to college, what I call Old Sports Planet, which is now where Puckett's is.
Yeah.
She was aware of that and kind of put the players together. And so there's stories like that we don't really talk about as a Main Street.
I'd say that was a big win for downtown.
Huge, right? And I'll say this: you talk about the cluster. Economists call this cluster development, I think, is the term they've used. But you know, there was fear from some of the restaurants that having something like a Puckett's downtown would hurt the business, and I've always thought the opposite of those things. And my opinion is, the more you have, the better it is for everyone. It really is a rising tide lifts all boats concept, and anecdotally I can say that about my wife and I. You know, we'll come down and we like to go to the alley, as a lot of people do, and the alley can be packed a lot,
slammed,
right? And I'm so happy for the alley that they're doing well, but I'm not a big wait around guy.
Yeah.
So you know what we do? Well, what else is?
Yeah.
Let's just walk around.
We're already
the square.
here.
I'm not going anywhere else. So let's walk around the square and let's maybe look at marinas or Puckett's or
Milano's or any number
no
of
big
them.
deal, right? So I think it's a positive thing. It's definitely been a great thing. So and it's exciting. It's exciting to see, like, my friend Kurt Garrett and Lacey, who's with the Garage Bar and what they've done.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Talk about an upgrade to their new place, huh?
Well, and and think about, you have hundreds of women.
You know them?
Yes. Yeah,
okay.
They're friends.
We're calling it here.
Yeah.
I want to get them on Coffee Talk. because I mean, they're
right.
doing killer business down
All right,
there.
Lacey, you heard that. All right, Kirk.
Yeah.
But you talk about, wow, economic vitality. Hundreds of women coming downtown every day, right? Walking into the Garage Bar, going by these shops and businesses.
Yeah.
So that's what we try to do at Main Street is help promote the downtown businesses, and how do we get more businesses that can just make it, a vibrant downtown. That's what you want. And we're lucky. Murphysboro has a great downtown.
It does.
So it's
There's
easy
still a lot of character there. There's been some big losses, in my opinion, looking at old photos. But it's still a really cool. I mean, the big trees. I mean, it's a comfortable downtown.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's always, like we were talking about off camera before, always ways to improve. And so there's always been an interest of how to getting more college kids to come, making them aware that you have this awesome place, just a few blocks from campus. And then just having more diversity of businesses. So that's always goals that you're moving towards. But certainly we have a pretty great downtown. And a plug to, we're very excited about our new executive director. Her name is Sarah Callender, and she's brand new, but I think she's going to be terrific. And I'm looking forward to working with her more.
Very good.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk summer party.
Okay.
Where's it at this year?
It is, they call it the Chandler House, but I'm not sure what the exact address is. I did not come prepared for that.
Oh, I'm sorry. What street's it on?
But it's right off of it's off Main. Why are you asking me hard questions like this?
I do apologize. We'll post that in the
Do that for me, will you?
Yeah.
I don't know addresses.
He just knows where to show up.
But July 27th, so that's going to be almost 3 Saturdays from now. And you don't have to reserve in advance. You can show up, buy tickets. But it's so you're going to have 15 to 20 all local restaurants.
Right.
It's what they call the Taste of Rutherford. So you're going to get some of their best food that they serve is going to be there. It's an open bar. And we've got music from the Murphysboro Orchestra.
Ah, right on.
And all this for $50 a ticket. So
it's not bad
for a fundraiser. If you've ever done local fundraisers here, that's actually on the pretty cheap end. So so great opportunity to just support Main Street and have fun.
So I hosted it last year.
You did,
and it was exciting. I had only lived in that house about 4 weeks, and I mean, there was a good, what do you think, 350, 400 people there?
It was a good crowd, and it normally gets pretty packed. Where
are y'all parking people?
Well, at yours, it was easy. I think this house is closer to that the SunTrust parking lot.
Oh, I see.
The concept this year, it's what we're calling a block party kind of thing. So the way they're doing it's going to be, I think we're actually shutting down a street for this one. So that's going to be a little different too, and fun. So, but I don't know the address.
Do you have a website where somebody can look it up?
Yeah. So if you go to Main Street Murphysboro, you'll find everything you need to know there. So
I do apologize. On Facebook. Yeah, I do apologize, Tab.
Yeah, that's all right.
So, what else? Let's talk about United Way. You said you just got onto their board.
Yeah, that's just brand new. So I don't, I did not know much about United Way before. Maybe a couple of things.
It's basically an organization that supports organizations,
you got it.
right?
Yeah, you got it. And so I'm learning a whole lot already. And I think they are not the Ted Turner organization maybe that some of us remember from the 80s, this obscure frivolous kind of I felt like they got kind of this rap of that. It's not that at all. And all the money that United Way, our local United Way, brings in, except for I think it's like 1% that has to go to the national to support the national group. It all stays locally, and
wow.
And like you say, and the money only goes to specific nonprofit organizations that fit the United Way, our local United Way model. Most of that's related to really just well-being of really what we call vulnerable populations, children. So any nonprofits that support better quality of life for our young people here in Rutherford County, that's where you're going to see most of the money going. So like I said, I'm still learning a lot, so I don't want to pretend to know that I know a lot about it, but so far I'm very impressed. We have incredibly professional staff there. Wow. Been blown away by just how organized they are and just polished. So we should be very proud as citizens of Rutherford County of the work they're doing. So
that's awesome.
Yeah. So I look forward to learning more and helping with that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anything else you got going on? You want to talk about?
Yeah.
Just got back from vacation.
Yeah. It was a family vacation experience. We did the RV thing out.
You rented one?
No. My parents were kind enough to let me borrow theirs, and we went out west, and 10 days with the 5-year-old twins. So it was.
That's exciting.
It was. So it was. We had trials and tribulations, but it was a fun trip overall. So
that's awesome. What was the coolest thing you saw?
Those the Grand Tetons never get old. If you've never had a chance to go out there, do yourself a favor. I mean, there is just something special about those mountains, and it's good for the soul. So that's always. I've been out there several times and still
never gets old. Huh?
No, it does not.
That's awesome.
So yeah,
very good.
So go on vacation, folks. Always a good.
It is. It's good to recharge. I just got back from Seattle, and
I've been there.
Oh man, you got to go.
I've heard good things.
You've got to go, and it never got over 74 degrees.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it was.
It was spectacular.
Yeah, I know. We really just had our full day back yesterday, and we're like, it's so hot.
Yes, and it's only like 35% humidity out there, as opposed to 140 or whatever it is here.
But we're used to it, so it's going to take a while to readjust to climate and work. So,
yes, for sure.
So this is a good way to start back. So
I'm glad you were on here. I've really enjoyed getting to know you as we've worked together and then hung out together at some events and things. So you're a good guy and good for our community. So I appreciate the work that you do here and the work that you do out there.
Well, we appreciate it. I say Glenn. So Glenn's he owns his company. He's our president. He really supports and encourages that.
He does. Y'all do habitat builds and all kinds of stuff.
We do habitat builds. Mary's involved with the Alzheimer's organization. Leslie's really involved in Murphysboro Young Professionals. And then Christy's actually involved in a lot of groups too. So he just supports that. I mean, what a terrific boss that just, if there's something that's really important to you, he
doesn't just encourage it. He shows up.
Yeah.
I mean, he participates. He's a lead by example kind of guy from what I've seen. Yeah,
absolutely. And again, just if you need to take the time, it's okay to use your, some work time to go, the board meetings and that kind of thing. And so he's great about that. So we got a cool crew here. So,
yeah, for sure. Yeah. Well, you guys do a great job. So brought you a gift. You got coffee mugs and pens. These are blue ink pens, by the way.
They're not?
They are.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, only blue.
Well.
And the one thing, guys, if you haven't ever read this book, it's a great book. I'll loan you a copy if you want. And so that's it.
Well, thank you, John. And same here. I mean, like I said, it really does make a difference when you get to work with professional people, and it makes it more pleasurable. Honestly.
For sure.
Just the whole process. So we appreciate everything that you guys do too as well.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's Jonathan Harmon with Tab Talbott of Gateway Title.
Esquire.
Esquire. That's right. How did I forget? in the closing? You should do it like Wild Stallions on Bill and Ted's. This is Casey Tab Talbott Esquire. It's good stuff. All right. Thanks for watching. Have a great rest of the week.
Bye, y'all.